Well, it is a Tim Dillon show, and Tim is out this week, but I'm here to talk about the SNL controversy with Shane Gillis. Shane Gillis is my favorite comedian, and he was going to be on SNL, and now Shane Gillis is not going to be on SNL, and it is such a dishonor.
Hello, everybody. That was an Asian accent. It was not great, but it was the accent of an Asian male. That was the accent that I was doing. When did accents become a sign of disrespect? And I mean that. Like, if you imitate, at one point they said imitation was the sincerest form of flattery, which I think is kind of true, because you're putting in obviously some type of effort to try to mimic somebody. Now, obviously, you're not always flattering somebody when you mimic them. We get that. But when did it become like horribly offensive to imitate somebody else that was not of your race? I understand the thinking behind that to a degree, you know, but I think people's voices are funny, right? Like, I have a funny voice. When people imitate me, like Matt Wayne, who's a comic in New York City, has a great imitation of me, where it's just, you know, everything that I would say, where you say, hey, it's Tim Dillon, you know, the other day, you know, because a lot of my friends, I talk about my friends by their last names. Like, I have friends named like Morris or Clark. So when Matt Wayne imitates me, he'll be like, you know, we was with Morris, Clark, you know, Donatelli, we were all out, we're having a ribeye. It's my favorite cut. And I was telling myself, and it's funny because I have a ridiculous voice. Like, it's a fucking crazy voice that I have. You know, I mean, there was a woman I knew in the mortgage game. She had a wild voice. She was West Indian. She'd be like, tings, you know these tings. I don't understand. And when she said something with that voice, it was very funny. Like one day, she goes, the bank trying to make me take the bars off me windows because they don't think I can get out in a fire and pay them their money. She was right. And I'm like, well, why do you want the bars on your windows? I was like, I don't have bars on my windows. She's like, but if somebody tried to get you, you're big and fat, you can fight. It was hilarious. Like, her voice made it funny. The woman had more money than me. She was smart. She was savvy. She owned multiple homes. Like, dude, I'm not making fun of her. I just think it's fun. Like, the way she said it in this no-nonsense way, and it's the way she said, I'm not making up the way that she said it. That's the way she sounds. It's my approximation of it. I'm doing the best job I can. But this idea that it's like inherently disrespectful to imitate the ethnic accent of somebody else, I don't buy that. I don't know why that's a thing. I understand why people think it should be a thing. I think their logic is off. But I'm confused as to why. And you say, oh, you're a white guy in society, you've had these privileges, and so to make fun of people that have had less privileges than you. Asians are doing good. West Indians are doing good. Like, African immigrants are doing well. They have higher than average incomes. Their employment numbers are higher. So this whole punching up, punching down, if you look at the raw data and the numbers, people are doing okay out there. It's not like, I'm not saying Disney should go remake Song of the South and have all these fucking racist characterizations of black people. But I'm saying if you're imitating the way somebody sounds and you're trying to, you know, you're trying to repeat a funny anecdote. And I mean, I get it. Shane Gillis was fired from SNL, a friend of mine, Very funny guy. Said some things on a few podcasts. You know, people dug it up. I think it's the first instance, and I could be wrong, and maybe Ben, you can correct me. I think it's the first instance of somebody getting in trouble from a podcast, right?
Yeah, I think you're right, actually. Yeah.
It's usually a tweet.
Yeah, you're right.
Usually a tweet will do it. A little dab will do ya. A little tweet will do it. Usually a couple of tweets. You know, because Leslie Jones never said chink, by the way, doing 20 years of road comedy. She never said faggot on the road to get a laugh. And don't think she did. Don't think she did. I trust me. What you say to get a laugh half the time comes from desperation. You're trying to fill time, trying to get a laugh. And sometimes the most shocking thing is funny because it's taboo. And I'm not going to rehash all of this because I know that, you know, we all know this. My listeners know it. We get it. You know, this isn't new. It's been going on for a while. Comedy is this cultural battleground that people are using because no one cares about comedy. SNL. Like, people care about it only when they can use it as a battering ram to bludgeon each other on either side of the ideological divide. That's why they care. It's not a big deal unless there's blood in the water. There's chum in the water. Everyone's like, wow, it's a big deal. Now, no one cares. I do comedy all over the country, and people go to a comedy show because they have nothing better to do. And they enjoy it. We have a lot of fucking fun. It is not the be-all and end-all of their life. They are not leaving Go Bananas in Cincinnati with a new view on the world. They're just not. That's not where you go to get perspective. The idea that it is wild. Because what? Carlin and Hicks, you want to point to the 5 most brilliant people that have ever done it? Okay. That's not a good standard. Yeah, but Hicks made people think. Yeah. Okay. We'll give you that. A few specials, absolutely amazing. But even then, I had uncles that loved Carlin, then they went and voted for Reagan. It doesn't stick. Doesn't matter. Nobody's changing their opinions about, but we know this. Even as I say it, I'm bored. It's boring. It's not logical. You try to talk to these people, and they're illiberal because people are living in the fantasy land that what they do matters. So you can't talk to people like that because it's like talking to children who are really invested in a game they're playing. And you go, you got to come in and eat dinner, and they're like, no, but it's almost over. We got to do it. And you go, no, it doesn't matter. You'll play it tomorrow. You're not playing for anything real. It's fake. You don't even like these kids on the block. You're playing manhunt with them because you're bored. Now get in here and eat fucking dinner before I kill you. That's who you're talking to. You're talking to an 8-year-old who goes, no, it's taken me so long. I'm finally up at bat now. Well, one more inning. No. Go to bed. It doesn't matter. It'll be there tomorrow. Everything is going to be there. This isn't the moment. Do you understand? But they don't think like that. These people are living in a fantasy world where they are marching with Dr. King. They're out of their minds. They think they're marching with Malcolm X. Like, what are you doing? You're doing cabaret dinner theater in what's left of the Village in Manhattan. You're performing for bankers at Goldman Sachs. And you think that you're like a revolutionary, like you're a guerrilla fighter trying to take down the power structures. It's unfathomable to me. And I like Shane. I don't know Shane that well, but what I know of him, I like him. He's a good guy. He's a beast of a comic. And he earned his way on that fucking show, by the way, by having great sets and having a great audition. And that's how he fucking got that show. He got JFL, and then he got Clusterfest in San Fran, and he killed. He killed in front of liberal crowds. He killed in front of the people that are supposed to fucking matter. He went up and murdered. And then he went in front of Lorne, and he didn't succumb to the pressure. He fucking knocked his audition out of the park. And then he fucking got on the show.